game between Alex Freeland and Jose Camacho Coladas in the last round of the Welsh Championships 2025. And this was the game that Jose won in order to become Welsh champion. Alex plays d4 and Jose quickly goes into a Nimzo Indian, which is pretty standard. And after a couple of developing moves, we get to kind of like a bit of a crossroads here for white. And yeah, Alex could have probably put his knight on e2, which would have meant that he'd be able to protect the knight on c3 and take back with the knight rather than the pawn. But chose a different development structure and went for a big centre. The problem is here is that now he's got the double pawns on c3 and c4, and it's just a bit awkward to develop the rest of his pieces. He needs to come up with a plan quickly. The problem is Jose puts pressure on this pawn on e4 and attacks it multiple times. You can see that the bishop can potentially come out to a6, or even across the other diagonal, and then very quickly, even though only these two knights look like they're active, it's actually black's pieces that are easier to get into the game than white's, and even this bishop has got a big diagonal coming down to this pawn on h3. So Jose gets his queen out, Alex attacks it, and unfortunately here Alex plays the move g4. And here at this point it's just really too exposed on the white king, and Jose finds a tactical solution as to how to get out, and he just simply attacks the bishop with the pawn. The bishop retreats, and then it's time to go to town, and that g4 pawn, after a quick swap off, gets taken, and he can't take back because he would lose, not only would he lose the 2 pawns, after the king moves out of the check, wherever it goes, you can just take the knight back at least. You might even have some more, but queen takes knight at least and 2 pawns up, and that would be game over. So instead, what he does is, after the bishop takes pawn, moves the knight to attack the queen. Obviously, if the queen runs away, he can maybe take the bishop for free. There's lots of ways for him to play this, but here he just plays bishop e2 check, winning his opponent's queen, loses his own, takes his opponent's queen. He's already a pawn up. But the problem is, though, is not only is he attacking the knight with the pawn here on g6, he's also attacking the rook on f1. Alex decides to save the knight, and then Jose here plays a really class move. Rather than just taking the rook on f1, it's not actually going anywhere, so he simply just captures on c4, which is a really nice class finish to the game. And after this, because of this game, he became Welsh champion again. Thanks for listening. Give it a like and a follow if you want to see more.